Alright, what is up YouTube? It is Psychedelic Scizor, and I'm here with my team builder for week 1 of the GSDL versus... It is versus Arson, right? I know what team I built for. Versus... Yes, Arson. Arson 28. I am having to be a little quiet for this one because it is late when I am recording, and I am still unfortunately living at home. But moving it out is expensive, so I will deal with that at a later time. Alright, overall going into this matchup, I'm actually not sure if I'm going to have the editing to be able to put the team right here, so if not, I'll just pull it up right here. This is his team right here. It consists of Victini, Melodic, Donphan, Mienshao, Aromatisse, Swellow, Cofagrigus, Metagross, Flygon, Thundurus Incarnate, and Mega Venusaur. Clearly he has a couple threats. First off, having Cofagrigus means I can't really spam High Jump Kick with Mega Metacham, which is a very viable strategy against any team that doesn't have a Ghost. And I fully expect him to bring it because it's actually a good answer to Mega Metacham. It's one of the few out there, although even it can get worn down pretty quickly. The other threat is Victini is always a threat because while it does have so much versatility, at the same time, it can just run Adamant Choice Band, V-Create, and just blow things back. Like, you have to have an answer for it, even if you don't expect it, because if not, it's going to blow through your team. It will get a kill every time it comes in. Thundurus Incarnate is also a pretty big threat because, it handles faster threats well, Thunder Wave, because it's still a Gen 6 league, and generally speaking, it's just got good offensive stats on both sides and good move pool to use it with. And lastly, I guess he's got some good bulk options. Mega Venusaur is one of the best mons in the format, at least defensively, because, only 2 weaknesses, although I think I handle it pretty well with Mega Metacham, because this thing is going to have to basically be max speed, which I don't expect against me. And Melodic is very hard to kill, especially if you manage to status it and its physical defense is doubled. But, alright. Now back to my team builder. First pick that I just really liked, the matchup overall, was Slim Shady's Sneasel with Life Orb. This is extremely standard. This is, what you'd find on the RU ladder kind of thing. It's very standard, but this is, it's because it's good. This will outspeed, even Thundurus Incarnate, and the only thing it doesn't outspeed is Swellow, which is something I'm kind of worried about, but I have answers for later. Pursuit, I plan on Pursuit trapping Victini. I don't want that thing to mess with my team the whole time. I don't want to have to rely on Heatran to switch into it a lot. So just if it kills something or I get the lead matchup right, I'm just going to Pursuit trap the thing and just kill the crap out of it. Icicle Crash is very good spammable stab. He doesn't really have any good answers for it besides Melodic, which is what I'm going to hit with a knockoff. Yeah, Icicle Crash hits pretty well. It's neutral Mega Venusaur. It hits Donphan super effectively. Knockoff is always very spammable, and Ice Shard is good priority. This also handles Scarf Mons, and it handles Swellow, which Swellow had a good matchup if I didn't prep for it. It was something I have answers for it, so I'm not worried about it, but I was worried about it in team prep. I had to make sure I had answers for it because the thing is just so fast. I don't have anything faster than it. My 2 fastest mons are on the team. They're still outsped. Alright, and next is Chuck Norris, the Mega Metacham. This thing is fairly standard. High Jump Kick, Zen Headbutt, Poison Jab, and Substitute. Dual Stabs, very spammable. High Jump Kick, when we'll be clicking most of the time once Kofag is gone. But the other 2 coverage moves, Zen Headbutt is to just nuke Mega Venusaur, and Poison Jab is to just nuke Aromatisse. I have had Aromatisse brought against me thinking that it's a good counter, and it just isn't. Poison Jab really blows it back. You can't switch into it. If I even just hit Zen Headbutt into Poison Jab to it KOs it, I am very certain, especially with this thing being adamant. And Substitute is if I predict Kofag coming in, I can sub and Zen Headbutt, and while I'll still get the Mummy, which will lower my power significantly, it's a way for me to put a pretty big dent in the thing, especially since it doesn't have very good recovery. Um, if it's not like fully physically defensive, it'll get worn down really fast. I only have to make that prediction like once. Yeah, and sub will help me avoid the Will-O-Wisp, which is what they usually want to do. They want to come in, they want to spam Will-O-Wisp. Speaking, oh, I forgot before I move on, the EVs. Max Attack Adamant absolutely just blows things back. This thing outspeeds all his walls. I don't want to risk a speed tie with Victini or anything like that, but this will outspeed, Aromatisse, max speed Donphan, Melodic. Actually, yeah, I think the benchmark I set it as I outspeed max speed Adamant or like non-speed boosting nature Metagross, which I don't. Well, did I? Hold on. Actually, I want to double check. I just did this check speed. Metagross. I know I outspeeded at least this with how little speed was in there. Okay, so 239. I needed to hit 240. Oh wait, no, I outsped Jolly Metagross, so no Metagross will outspeed me, and I will nuke it with High Jump Kick. Yeah, it's the thing about playing with Mega Medicham is you need to realize it's not going to sweep, it's just not fast enough, but you just make it a wall breaker. Like, here's my Mega Medicham, try switching into this. It's so hard to, because even things like Uxie, or Cresselia, which are probably the two best counters for Mega Medicham in the game, they get worn down pretty easily. Well, maybe not Cresselia as much, but only one team can have Cresselia, and I don't know if it was drafted this league. But yeah, this thing can put in some very serious work. It doesn't have any actual checks on the team other than being offensively checked, but there has no switch-ins is the better way to put it. And my phone just went off again. Alright, so ignoring that because that was not important. Next is probably my favorite set I've built for the week, and this is the Assault Vest Drizzy Drake Heatran. Drizzy Drake because he spits hot fire. I try. I do. This is a really good check to majority of his team. This thing switches in on everything Mega Venusaur has except for Earthquake, which I kind of expect, but I have other ways of answering Mega Venusaur. Even plus the fact that I just don't think he's going to bring it. I think Mega Medicham hits it too hard. I think I have other threats that hit it too hard. But it can handle this pretty well. Assault Vest with this much Spadef, or I should explain the purpose. This thing is a complete Victini check. Like, there is no variant of Victini that really just beats this thing. With this HP and special defense investment with Assault Vest, even max special attack timid HP ground will never 2-hit KO me after rocks, so I will tank 2 of them even with rocks, so I can switch in even if he gets the prediction. It doesn't matter, I'm going to eat it up. And then that physical defense means that the hardest thing he is to hit me with outside of Brick Break, which I don't have the EVs to take. If he doesn't have Brick Break, the hardest thing he can hit me with is Bolt Strike, and Max Attack Adamant Choice Banded Bolt Strike will not 2-hit KO me. With rocks, it will, but I didn't have the EVs to spare. I more expected HP Ground or something to be brought because it doesn't have Earthquake. So this thing will eat up those hits pretty well, and the rest I dumped into special attack, which gives me a 97.7% chance to 2-hit KO Victini, which I will take. I wanted to make it a 100% chance, but I didn't want to take away the defenses. Those are a little more important, and I really, really like this set. This is a good coverall check. It also handles Swellow. This is one of the Swellow checks. This thing handles Mega Venusaur outside of Earthquake. This thing can even take some hits from Melodic, although I wouldn't really want it to. This coverage, Lava Plume is good stab. It's essentially Scald but Fire type. Earth Power primarily for Victini. Flash Cannon primarily for Aromatisse. And Ancient Power is... there's a reason it is on there. I guess that's for Swellow and Thundurus. Yeah, that's what it's for. Well, I don't know. It hits the same damage as as Lava Plume. Wasn't it? Was Lava Plume base 80? Yeah, they hit for the same, but I needed to fill it out with attacks. Is there anything I want to switch on here? Yeah, I don't. I might switch it. I don't really think. I thought about running a Power Herb Solar Beam set, but like it's just kind of gimmicky, and I wanted something a better check to Victini, and this gets the job done. So next is Clef Curry the Clefable, my stealth rocking defensive Baberi eating Clefable. Babiri Berry is what this does is it halves damage taken from a super effective steel type attack, meaning I can take a hit from Metagross. And is what this does is this is mostly physically defensive. This is an answer to Mienshao. This is an answer sort of to physical Swellow if that's brought, although that's again primarily going to be Drizzy Drake's job. But this thing can lure in Metagross, and with this special attack investment, I will always, with or without rocks, 2-hit KO with Flamethrower. Fire Blast would make me able to invest less, but I just don't want to miss Fire Blast. Like, I don't desperately need the extra defense. Moonblast is good spammable stab. I need rocks. This thing is a good rocker because he doesn't really have a lot of answers to it, and Soft Boiled for some recovery. Again, it kind of misses leftovers, but you know, it gets OHKO'd just straight up by Meteor Mash if it doesn't run Babiri Berry. So this set should work out pretty nice. I like it personally. And one of my favorite mons in Draft League format, especially because it's such a good value pick, is my specially defensive Electros. It is not Assault Vest. I run that a lot. Tired. I run Assault Vest a lot, but I wanted leftovers because I know I'm going to have to switch this thing in a lot. And if I want this in a lot, and here the bigger thing is it doesn't need the extra bulk from Assault Vest. Like sometimes I pack it on there because literally it just can't take some hits without Assault Vest. This it can because I need this to switch into, you know, defensive Venusaur. I do need to switch into Thundurus, but Thundurus it resists its stab, so, and it doesn't get any good flying stab outside of HP flying, which I don't really think is viable personally. And another reason I didn't run Assault Vest is I wanted to run Thunder Wave. It's nice for speed control. It helps, you know, Chuck Norris out so much. This thing loves speed control. I wish I drafted Webs, honestly, but I wasn't about to. You know, there's a chance I could drop something, and pick up something in PU, maybe. But Volt Switch, this thing, I have never run Electros without Volt Switch. It's the reason you draft it. It's a good, bulky, slow pivot. It's min speed, so I get the slowest Volt Switches off. Knockoff is generally spammable. You know, just removing items is always nice. And HP Ice is... I don't think I've run this calc before. It doesn't straight up OHKO Flygon, but it does a very significant amount, enough to where something can just kind of pick it off. Also, you know, maybe this will just let it, you know, if it has a Yachi Berry, instead of risking, you know, Sneasel for it, you know, I can pop it with Electros. And just, this thing actually does handle Flygon pretty well, because unless it locks itself into Outrage, it can't really OHKO this thing at all. Not can't, it not kind of can't, it just straight up can't. Ignore the nickname, that is inappropriate, but also oddly hilarious. I love this thing. I run it so much. Even my garbage draft in one of the leagues that I did right before I started this YouTube, this thing was one of my MVPs. I would place it probably third on my MVP list, behind Scolipede and then the true MVP, Lord Helix himself, even though I didn't call him Lord Helix, Omastar. But that is a story for another day. Finally, the last member on my team is Trap Nation, the Doug Trio, with Life Orb instead of Focus Sash, because I don't necessarily need this to trap things. I would love it to be able to trap things, but it just... The main things that I would need it to trap is I use this to trap fast offensive threats that my slower mons can't handle, but his faster threats are almost all flying types. Primarily Thunderous and Swellow. I can't trap those things because they're flying types. I also can't trap Cofagrigus because it's a ghost type. That would be so nice, but I can't. So this is, it hits the same speed benchmark as Sneasel did. This outspeeds everything except Swellow. And Life Orb just maximized damage output. I'm just using it as a fast attacker. Edgequake coverage hits pretty much everything. Sucker Punch would be to hit Swellow and maybe something Scarfed. And Hone Claws is, I don't know if I'd use Hone Claws. Like, maybe I would scare a Thunderous out coming in, I'd be able to Hone Claws. I needed a last slot, and because I'm not running Focus Sash, I don't think that Reversal was a good option, because I'm not going to live any hit anyway, even with 72 HP. You know, it's not going to happen. This thing is base 35 HP and 50 and 70 in defense. This thing's frail. But if I'm able to Hone Claws up, this thing could actually sweep. If he doesn't bring Swellow, I'm actually going to be very excited because this thing puts in a lot of work. This also does a good job in trapping Victini and Metagross, which, depending on the matchup, there's almost a temptation just to lead off with this thing because I see both of those being potential leads, like a Scarf Victini or a Stealth Rocking Metagross. And I could just trap him right off the bat, but I don't know. But this is my team builder. I feel like I went kind of long on this. 16 minutes, yeah, that's kind of long. This is probably longer than most of them are going to be, but I actually, like, recently finished this, so I actually remember what I'm talking about. And I feel really good about my matchup. All I need to really worry about is I am worried that maybe I don't have the best way to take out Melodic. I'm really banking on just knocking it off with Electros or Sneasel and then just muscling through it with Mega Medicham. I was very close to bringing Roserade, like a Scarf set, or bringing a Scarf Salamence, but Salamence I felt like was too limited. Like, he would keep Aromatisse alive the entire game, so I could lock myself in Outrage, and it's the only reason that I would use Scarf Salamence. And the other one, Roserade, Leaf Storm is what you're going to want to be spamming, and that's not a good move to lock yourself into with Scarf. I just felt like I got more use out of Dugtrio, and I didn't set this to Gen 6. I wish it was 100 base attack. This thing still hits hard enough, because it hits almost everything super effectively that it needs to. But really my way of beating Melodic is not statusing it, which I don't really have much status on this team. I have Thunder Wave and I have Lava Plume, and that's it. And I've done the calcs, I'm just able to muscle through Melodic. Let me show you the calc here. So, Medicham, Mega, OU All-Out Attacker. Yep, that is an Adamant one. That's what I have. Versus UU Defensive Melodic. This is max HP, max defense. High Jump Kick still does 82 to 97, which, with Stealth Rock up, that is still a 68% chance to OHKO. This is not a counter whatsoever in any sense of it at all. This thing really can't even hit me hard back. It can scald me, but yeah, I mean, Mega Medicham, especially Adamant, this thing literally can just muscle through it. And, you know, say if it runs some special defense, you know, if it's kind of mixed defenses and needs special defense or something, look at this. If it's only like 100 less EVs, this thing is a guaranteed OHKO after Stealth Rock. Actually, it needs to have at least... It needs to have at least 196 EVs in defense and be bold to not be straight up OHKO'd after rocks. That is absurd. It is absolutely absurd. I mean, that's why I drafted this thing. This is one of those mons where you just try to switch into this. You know, there's not many in the game. OU doesn't really have many, but they have ways of playing around it, and anyone can run Rotom, pretty much. So, alright, this is the team builder. Hopefully we'll pick up the W, and I have no idea when this is going to go up. I'm recording this on the 21st. It could be a couple days. It's probably going to be a couple days until I upload this and we have our battle, but I'll make sure to record that, and You guys have a nice day. If you like what I'm doing, make sure to like, subscribe, share, do whatever the hell it is you do with YouTube videos. And I'm going to get out of here and see you guys later.